What's up, my little pups? It is Muleview the Wolf, and it is Pride Month. Now, before I even get started with these 3 reactions, I'm going to say that I am really sorry that I have not been keeping up with any of my videos, because it's been about, 2 weeks now, and I have not posted anything. The reason being is because I've been so busy with work, home, and the only time that I can actually make a quote-unquote video is on TikTok, because of, a couple seconds, and that's it. But I also have been away from home for about a week, and so hopefully I can keep track of my videos now because I now have a day-to-day schedule. So, with that being said, we're going to be watching some gay animations, whether it be homophobic or not. So, we're just going to be reacting to them and see how they go, because it's gay month, we got to be gay, got to show our gay, got our gay Minnie Mouse shirt, got to do all that. We gonna get started. So grab yourself some snacks, grab some Skittles, How about we just taste the rainbow, okay? We got some Airhead strips, get some Skittles, maybe some M&Ms. They're not really gay, but But anywho, let's get started. Okay, so this first one that we're gonna be reacting to is I Don't Like Gay People. YouTuber Karim Jovan's story. Sorry if I said that wrong, I really am.
I grew up in Queens, New York. While attending middle school, I witnessed quite a number of homophobic incidents, and because of that, I became acclimatized to it all. At that time, being gay was seen as a big no. It was seen as wrong, and you quickly became teasing material. Being exposed to all the hate towards the gay community, I quickly became homophobic. Hating on gay people became part of my lifestyle, and helping them was out of the question.
I'm sorry, but whoever's homophobic that's watching this video, how many of y'all actually just scribbling up, oh, I hate the gays, they're such faggots? Who the heck does that?
So I would often witness guys being beaten and would never offer assistance. There was a point in my life where I developed such a hatred for gays. I could not comprehend the fact that a man could have feelings for another man in the way I could have feelings for a woman.
Y'all never heard of homosexual? I'm not really up to that, but we gotta kiss the homies goodnight. Don't ask me how I know this. Y'all don't need to know.
I had a guy friend I often hung out with, and this one time we were playing handball, and I noticed he started touching and complimenting me. I ignored it at first, but as the game progressed, it became overbearing for me and I felt violated. I told him to stop, and he started to play aggressively, but later touched me again. I lost it and I yelled at him. I asked if he was gay and insulted him, and told him to quit touching me. He laughed and told me he had feelings for me and proceeded to touch my stomach. At that moment, it was like a fuse blew in my brain.
Okay, yeah, that's the type of gay you want to avoid, because who the heck does that without even permission? What?
I punched him, pushed him into the wall, and swung him headfirst into the street. I remember breaking his glasses and gashing his face in. A part of me believed it was self-defense, while another part of me couldn't believe that I actually hurt someone I knew to that extent. I then started high school with an antisocial mindset. I was a book nerd, always organized, and often kept to myself. The school bullies quickly picked up on that, and I became a target for them. They would call me gay and yell derogatory terms like faggot and stupid fairy in the halls. It escalated to the point where no one wanted to be around me, and I became an outcast.
Well, here's the thing with the word faggot. If y'all don't know about the history of the word, way back then, I'm gonna tell y'all, way back then, about 18, 17, but around those times, the word faggot was meant for use a cigarette. And so what they would do to people that were seen as almost as gay, like if they did any sort of movement that was gay like, they would be rolled up into a rug and be burned like an actual cigarette. So basically you would be rolled into a faggot, like rolled into a blunt. Yeah, it was fun.
My classmates would secretly ask me if I was gay. I always told them no, but I knew they didn't believe me. Not long after, I started college and felt like this was my chance to break out of my shell. I was happy that high school was over and that I could move away from all the negativity and start fresh.
That's good.
A few months later, I joined theater class, and it was there I was exposed to so many different talented people.
Why is it theater class is the one thing that increases the gayness of a person? What gay person has not joined theater class? Because I don't know one, because I am one of them. I actually joined drama class many times. That just made me more gay, I'm not gonna lie.
Many of them were gay and bisexual, so at first I was hesitant. I was still scared of gay people and confused. As time went by and we worked together, I started to become more open-minded and made some great friendships in theater class. My first close friend I made was gay. He was super kind and made me feel like family. It was almost surreal. I had a gay friend. Later on in my college years, I had an experience with a gay college professor. He made me feel comfortable in my own skin and always believed that I could do anything. I always suffered from low self-esteem and felt ashamed of my height. Then one time he stopped me and told me something that always stuck with me up until this day. He said, "You look real, and you're great just as you are, and that's what art and theater needs." It was a line that gave me a whole new perspective on life and gave me the confidence I needed. All of this made me think back to the days of me being immature and inconsiderate of people's feelings. I wonder how my old friend feels now.
I mean, that goes to show that even back like in elementary school and middle school, we were all dumb. We were all dumb. We didn't know what we were doing. We didn't know what was right from wrong. We did everything wrong, basically. And so, like, the bully that was back in elementary school, they probably grew up to be like a way better person. I could say this, one of my actual bullies that was in elementary school with me, I did date him for a while because after, elementary school had ended, we were almost out of middle school. He had changed a lot. But that didn't work out. I'm with the person I am with right now. And we're happy. So I'm not going to complain too much about that.
And I hope I haven't affected him in a negative way. And I hope he forgives me. The hate
Oh,
I
he ain't
had wasn't
forgive you.
me. It was just a byproduct of what was around me.
If he does forgive you, I'm going to say this. That's like the most trusting friend right there. Because after what you did to him, throw him against a flipping fire hydrant.
I got a taste of what it felt like to be treated differently in high school, and often wonder if I wasn't picked on, would I have changed my views on gays?
Yeah.
In a way, I'm thankful for my high school days because it truly did open my eyes to what gays go through on a daily basis. Now, I'm an aspiring actor with a great YouTube following, and I'm going to keep working hard and chase my dreams with no hate in my heart.
Yeah!
It feels liberating. We see hate all the time in this world, and it seems like a common path. So let's pull away from that and move towards less hatred.
I'm going to tell y'all this right now. Love comes in many shapes and sizes, whether it be big or short or fat or skinny or whatever. It could be my dog. He loves everybody. He licks everybody, literally. He won't stop. I try to help him attack, but he never does. But anywho, love comes in every sort of way that you can think of, whether it be a short guy likes a tall woman, or it be like a tall man loves a short guy. It doesn't really matter. Okay, it comes in every sort of form, whether it be two girls, two guys, two they thems, whoever. It doesn't really matter who you are. You like somebody. There's always somebody for somebody else, and that's the point. What our the community, the LGBT community, is trying to get through to everybody is that it doesn't matter. We don't care who you go out with. It just matters that we're supposed to be free and we're supposed to actually speak up for ourselves to show everybody that we're not trying to hurt y'all. Okay, it's not like we're trying to slam a sign against your face or anything like that. Bam, be gay. Like, no, we're not doing that. We're trying to actually show you guys that it's okay to be coming out and not just like to stand up for other people. Like, straight people, I don't really care. Okay? You guys like another guy, you guys like another woman, it doesn't really matter to me. Okay? That's your guys' preference. My preference, I like guys and I'm a guy. So what's the point? So that's what basically the community is trying to get out to everybody, especially the homophobes. We're trying to get out to you guys. It doesn't matter. We love people who we love. We love people for their personality, their body, their hair, their eyes, our hands. You never know. Okay? Probably like somebody, I know a person, I'm not going to say what their name is, but they know who they are. They like people for their feet. It doesn't really matter. We all have our preferences. So it doesn't really matter on who you like, on who you don't like. It's just a matter of if you just accept it. Because if you don't accept it, well, that's kind of your fault. That's kind of your problem. So let's move to another video. Let's move to the next video. So the second animation that we're going to be watching today is called I Don't Like My Parents Because They Don't Accept Who I Am. Another one from Story Booth. Now, what I'm getting from this is that a gay son, maybe, lesbian daughter, one of the two. So, reminds me of myself, but we're not going to talk about that.
I never really liked my parents. We butted heads on everything, from political to religious beliefs. I consider myself an atheist and very liberal. And I am also unapologetically gay.
Yeah, unapologetically, I get that 100%. And I am also atheist. The reason being is because if y'all say that there's a God up there watching over us, choosing what we decide and such, that kind of doesn't make any sense because I've heard many people say, "Oh, it's your choice to do this. Oh, it's your choice to do that." So, in my point of view, I honestly don't think there is a God. If there is a God, then cool.
My parents are rather conservative Muslims and are also extremely homophobic. I never was really public about my disagreements with them because I still wanted a roof over my head, food on the table, and money in my pocket. Because of that, I was able to forge a good but very artificial relationship with my parents. They saw me as practically perfect, a good and trusting kid. Both of my parents had very noticeable flaws, however. My mom liked to hold grudges, was quick to judge, and loved to enforce gender roles. My mom adamantly believed that boys were supposed to do yard work and take out the trash, and that girls only belonged in the kitchen and were predestined to become subservient Muslim housewives.
Well, the thing is with my parents, it's kind of the same way as like the gender roles, meaning that you have to do this and that. But my mom actually is now open because I actually was able to talk to her about this for a while now. That it really doesn't even matter because my dad always did take out the trash and stuff like that. Mom would never. Sometimes she would if if dad wasn't home, a certain amount of time, she'd say, F it, either tell me to do it or do it herself if I'm not home. But either way, it's the it's the fact that I'm not really surprised that I'm like the only one going through this because my mom would always cook dinner, tell me to do the dishes, do all this and that at home, and now my mom is actually letting me be more masculine than what I was when I was little. So it's really good for having that leverage with her.
My father was so invested in his work that he neglected to form any bonds with his children. They would constantly belittle my four sisters by not allowing them to have friends outside of school, have phones, participate in extracurricular activities, nor drive when they reached the legal age of 16. And then there's me. A couple years ago, I tried coming out to them. Not once, but twice. The first time, they begged me to date girls because they took my coming out as a threat. The second time, and proceeded to fire a barrage of insults and false homophobic stereotypes about gay people.
Now, see, I didn't go through that specifically, but I did get like a lot of questions. When I first came out as bisexual, I was leaving for my best friend's grandma's house. We're not gonna talk about what happened there, but I had came out to my parents. I'm bisexual because I liked my best friend, and we did date, but that was like after a couple months later. But anywho, I did come out to my parents as bisexual at first because I thought I liked boys and girls, but later on, trans, gay, but we're not talking about that. But when I did come out to them, I had a couple of questions from them, and that was mainly it. Because my mom was bisexual before, back when I think she was almost out of high school. I think she was in high school, but she had told me that she was also bisexual, dating both boys and girls, not at the same time, but like here and there after a couple relationships didn't work out. I don't think that gay is really heritable, but it's like preference of choice, and that choice went down to me. So lovely.
Ranging from them being mentally ill to calling it a phase or choice. They threatened to completely disown me and assured that I won't succeed in life if I didn't quote unquote fix myself.
Yeah, I hate that. That is sad. I hate my one of my exes. They lived with their grandparents, and she had to deal with those kind of parents, basically, or guardians, I would say. They did not accept her, and so she had to leave me because of it, which was very upsetting. And I wanted to kill every single one of them, but I didn't. So
A fog of depression consumed me and could only see myself being forever indebted to my parents. So I had to continue the facade of the straight Muslim boy in the house. I didn't think much of it at the time, but after telling my friends, they convinced me I was in a nearly abusive relationship with my family, and that I had to get far away from them to live my life and discover my full potential. It was at this
those are good
moment that I
friends.
took a much harsher stance against my parents, seeing them as my prison wardens instead of my loved ones. So I thought, where was the farthest I could get without them having a harsh impact on me, while I could still be successful and thrive as a young gay? After doing some
Thrive as
research,
a young
I could
gay.
finally conclude that California would be the best place for me. A thriving LGBT community, lots of racial diversity and acceptance, and on the complete opposite side of the country. So I applied to a few schools there in hopes I would get accepted, and sure enough, I did get into one of them, UCLA. It truly was one of the greatest moments of my life. I felt like a livable future was finally plausible. My parents were hesitant at first because of the distance, but happy to have me go, because they trusted I could succeed at a highly acclaimed school in Los Angeles.
Ha! Little do you know, that little boy finna be gayer than gay. I'm playing.
After moving there, I have never been happier to be part of a diverse community with amazing friends, support, and education. Although I have to come home every now and then to keep up my fake relationship, I am so relieved to be so strongly dissociated from that sinkhole I once called home. My next hope is that my sisters see and believe the truth about my parents and follow my footsteps and escape, so that they could live happy lives too.
Aw. That's the thing with like siblings and such. You would want them to follow into your footsteps. Me myself, I am the littlest. Second littlest. My little brother lives with my sister, but I am basically the youngest out of the four girls that are my sisters, and my little blood brother. Forgot what it was. But it's like you would want them to follow into your footsteps. I almost did kind of follow into my sister's footsteps, but that changed. Like a little bit, like a little bit. But we're gonna go to our last video for today. All right, so this is gonna be the last video for today, and we're gonna be watching. I was punished for being gay in the most horrible way, and this is her story that she made. I don't know really who made this. And this story was made by Dear Diary. So what I'm already getting from this scene, it looks adorable. I want it.
Hello, everyone. My name is Bella, and I'm 18 years old.
Hi, Bella.
About 3 years ago, my parents punished me for being gay in the most horrible way, and then I found out why.
Mm-hmm.
Even though my parents had no clue, I knew that I was gay pretty early in my life. I've had beautiful friendships with guys and girls, but when I was daydreaming about the meet-cutes in the middle of the street and one true love, the only image that would come to my mind was a girl. I didn't actually struggle that much with the idea, but I didn't tell anyone either. I don't know why exactly, but when I was 15, I started wishing that I would have just kept my mouth shut. That day, I was hanging around at my best friend Damien's house.
Oh.
He was one of those upper middle
Of course it's a white blondie.
class, I'm against everything that my rich parents do.
A rich white blondie that's against their parents. I wonder who that reminds me of. Totally not every white blondie that's rich in a movie. Totally.
Type of kids. We were swimming in his pool, joking around, when he swam up to me and kissed me. I tried pushing him away, but he kept forcing himself on me. Finally, as I got myself out of his claws, he looked enraged. I like you, Bella, Damien.
I like you, Bella. Date me. I love that. That's funny as heck, but that should never happen to anybody.
Screamed, as if it was more of an accusation than a confession. He managed to cover the whole emotional spectrum, from rage to resentment to crying hysterically. I still felt like I owed him an explanation, so I came out to him. Damien, I'm gay. His reaction was mostly saying, oh, and then proceeding to swim and play around as if this whole situation had never happened.
So you're just gonna come up to me, kiss me, and after I tell you I'm gay, you just gonna say, oh, and mosey on over. Like, who does that? Who? What? Huh? Could I at least say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know? Oh? Okay. I see you. What was his name? Damien?
I went home that very evening, sat in my room reading a book, not really pondering what had happened earlier, when my father came in. His face looked mysterious, like I couldn't really read what he was thinking. As if he had 3 different emotions at the same time.
I hate that.
He said, "Pack your bags. You and your mom are going on a trip tomorrow." That was obviously strange as we didn't really travel much, but I knew better than to disobey my father as he could be a little bit dictator-like if you started questioning him. The next morning, my mom came into my room and said that we were going. I tried interrogating her on where, but she wouldn't budge. As we were driving, my sweet mom was silent as a mouse. Finally, we arrived at this strange institution that looked like something between a camp and a mental ward. We went into an office where a middle-aged woman was sitting as if she was waiting for us. "Hello, Karen," she greeted my mom. As I was looking around the room, it dawned on me. I felt my heart sinking to the ground. I looked at my loving mom who wouldn't even make eye contact with me. The woman, the counselor, smiled at me with this horror movie smile and said, "Follow me. I'm gonna show you to your room." My mom didn't even say goodbye. I sat in a strange room on a bed that now belonged to me for I don't know how long and tried to grasp the idea that my mom had just drove me and left me in conversion therapy. One of those radical institutions that try to manipulate and abuse you to change your sexuality. That night, I barely slept because I felt like...
What? Oh, this ain't no loving nice mom now. She a-hole. She's an a-hole. I can't really say the word, but she's an a-hole. You guys know what I'm saying.
I had nobody in the entire world, and I knew I'd been betrayed by none other than my best friend.
He ain't your best friend. He a traitor.
The next month was a nightmare. I had no way to contact the outside world. Every morning, the counselor gave me unknown medication that made me dizzy and weak. Then I'd have to endure this intense group therapy where we were forced to reveal our most intimate thoughts and then be punished for them. We had to learn to hate ourselves. Sometimes they'd invite us one by one into the room and force us to look at straight adult films.
I don't know about you, but if I was ever in that situation, if I was in her shoes right now, and if I was her, I would have just been staring at the female. I'm not gonna lie. Pretend that guy is not a guy. Pretend that is a thing you get from the drawer. Y'all don't understand what I'm saying. Y'all too little for my channel. I'm sorry. I try to keep it kid-friendly as much as I can without even cussing, but that's not even good enough for you? No? Leave.
As the counselor kept telling me that I'd rot in hell for being gay, I felt like I was already in hell.
Yeah, that is hell.
It actually started working. Just maybe not exactly in the way they imagined. I did hate myself. Every time I'd look at another girl in the camp, I felt disgusted. I wanted to throw up or to run away just to keep myself from thinking the thoughts that were straight from the devil's mouth. When I arrived, I befriended this one girl, Sally, who was about the same age as me. But as we spent more and more time in these horrific lessons, we started turning on each other.
Why no unicorns in the classroom? Why no unicorns? What's wrong with unicorns? I still like unicorns. And I'm a guy. What's wrong with unicorns? They magical. They poop rainbows. I'm sorry.
One time, I heard her in the bathroom talking on the phone, which was not allowed. She sounded...
What does that say? Would have followed all the way to the graveyard. What? I'm a shooting star leaping through the sky like a tiger defying the laws of gravity. Oh. Okay.
happy and, God forbid, in love. Rage came over me. It was so unfair and unjust that someone got to experience happiness, but not me. I ran straight to the counselor's office to tell on her, but I was mortified by what I found in there. As I walked up to the door, I heard...
Keep it straight or burn in hell. Noodles are straight, even when wet. No, they're not. They're curvy. You can't tell me otherwise.
Heard moaning. Not the pray the gay away kind of moaning. I opened the door to see 2 women on the table, kissing, caressing each other. I immediately understood that one of them was the counselor.
Hell no! No! What? Ain't no way! No! Hold up. She got caught being gay! Bro, how you holding a straight facility camp to make gay people straight, and you over here on the counter with another woman? Oh, I can't. This just get funnier and funnier each time.
But the other seemed familiar to me too. Her
Who?
long brown hair, her skinny legs, and the long, colorful skirt. I think the whole state heard my scream. I screamed so loudly that the 2 women jumped from the table and nearly fell out of the window. The 3 of us were standing and looking at each other like we were in some Western standoff, waiting for one of us to draw the gun and shoot. The counselor, still trying to hold on to her dignity, sat on the chair as if nothing happened. The other woman, my mom.
I'm done. Oh! You got caught being gay! Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. You holding a facility for straight people, and you out here being gay. I'm done. I'm done. And with her mom. Oh, I wonder if she did this to all the moms. Is that one way to keep her daughter in here? Because holy crap. So wait a second. She cheated on his husband. She cheated on her husband for a woman. He's gonna be exfoliated. Oh my god.
Mom walked out of the room, not even looking at me.
Oh, you better let it to your dad. You better tell your dad. Oh my god.
But this time, I wouldn't let it slide.
You better not.
This time, I wouldn't just silently obey their orders as they jailed me like some kind of criminal.
Yeah?
I stormed out of the room and followed my mom. I think she was ready to run, but I managed to stop her.
Mr. Queers, I saw that sign.
Leave me alone. You're a disgrace.
You over here on the desk with the counselor, no, the principal of this whole facility, and you want to say, oh, I'm a disgrace. Nah, F you. No.
I hate you.
I love
She
you
was
too.
spewing, sobbing, barely breathing. At that moment, I wasn't even angry. I felt pity. Do you hate me? Or do you hate yourself?
Both.
I asked my mom. Do you even know what they do here? My mom sat on the ground, sobbing like a little girl. I'd never seen her so small. Yes, I was sent here too, she answered. We sat on the ground for about an hour as she finally reached for my hand, calmed herself down, and said, "Let's go." I left my suitcase and a bunch of clothes there, but they didn't matter anymore. We got into the car and left for good. My mom and I were driving for about 4 hours straight until she pulled up at some motel. I didn't understand. I started panicking, you know? Was it possible she'd leave me again? She asked for a room, and as we settled down in the motel, Mom said, "We have to make a plan." She was scared that if we went back, My father would do unspeakable things or turn us into some more horrible institutions. That's how I ended up living in a motel for about half a year.
Dang.
My mom got a job in the motel as an administrator and managed to finalize her divorce.
Ha!
I didn't see my father again.
Good.
I didn't even get my stuff from home as he simply threw it all away.
Don't eat them.
During those months, I tried remembering my childhood, life before all this, how normal it looked, how many friends I had, how happy I was. I guess part of growing up was figuring out that life isn't perfect, that your parents have flaws and secrets.
Well, yeah, no duh.
Finally, we managed to rent a small apartment, Mom and me,
On the top
and I
floor.
got to go to a normal school again. We bonded a bit as she told me her story, how her parents treated her, and how they pretty much arranged her marriage. I managed to deal with what happened to me in that camp, and even got myself my first girlfriend this year.
Aww.
I reconnected with Sally, and we even helped her to get out of her abusive parents' home. I decided that that's what I want to do. To help people who are left and abandoned by the ones that are supposed to love them. The only thing I regret is that my mom never got the support she needed. And looking at her now, I'm really afraid that she's never going to be able to fully accept herself. And that's what everybody deserves.
So my dog's like literally been staring at me for like the past couple minutes now. What do you? Oh my god, child. All right. So you're gonna help me with this end. You're gonna help me with the outro, okay? Look at the camera. Look at the camera. Look right there. See? Look. No. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. If you guys did, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn notifications. And make sure to leave down in the comments on what little animation was your favorite. Because mine was honestly the last one. It showed a lot more expression than the other two. But, like I said, if you guys enjoyed this, make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see all y'all lovely little pups later. Ow! And I love y'all. Bye. Reggie, come here. Stop playing with the wire. Bye.